Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. I sort of was pondering television just recently. We have a bit of a problem, something I realised. All the great TV shows, all the great franchises, Star Trek, Star Wars, Doctor Who, Addams Family, all these great shows we grew up watching, all these shows have moved on from the original creators. Either they've died or they've sold their stake in the franchises, or the whole studios have been sold and whole catalogues have moved to new people. And we're having this sort of reality, this new reality where all these shows that we grew up with that were all managed by people who either created the show or understood the show and had some involvement in creation of the show and maintaining the show are all removed, and now it's just new people, businesses, corporations, studios. They all own these IPs and they see them as valuable, but they just want to make content out of them. They just want to pump out new content, and they're just hiring people to make content. And they're not the people who actually understand the shows. They don't understand the fan bases. They don't care about the fan bases. They're just looking at altering these IPs and these established shows with fan bases for the general audience, because they just want to sell content to the general audience, to the streaming services, and that's it. And it's like a industry-wide phenomena that has sort of happened just due to time. TV started, I think, in the 40s and the 50s, and the first sort of big sort of show that there was I Dream of Lucy. I Love Lucy. And then in the 60s, you started to get the real high concept, fun shows like I Dream of Jeannie, Star Trek, Lost in Space, all those sort of shows that were really iconic and really developed their own cult followings and fan bases. And those shows sort of went through the 70s, 80s and into the 90s with the people who originally created them or were involved in them continuing to maintain them and produce the shows and that. And then there was like a transition between like the 2000s and the 2010s where it just seemed like all the people moved away from them or sold them off or died. I mean, Gene Roddenberry died in the 90s. George Lucas sold Star Wars, willingly. And other people, they just aged out of the industry or died, and their stakes went to the studios or to their relatives, like the Muppets. The Henson family controls them, and the rumours are that Henson's son hates the Muppets, and part of the problem with getting new Muppet shows happening is he's not managing it well, whereas his sister apparently gets the shows, and she was more in charge of the Dark Crystal, which was brilliantly received, but was still dropped because, I don't know, I don't know what happened there, but we are seeing this sort of turnover of IP, this sort of IP roulette where just anyone gets a hold of these things and just takes a shot at doing a show. And you get a lot of bait and switch where it's like, yes, we're doing a new Addams Family show. Look, here's Morticia in that. Look at the trailer of Morticia and Gomez, who are in it for like one scene, and then the rest of it is the Umbrella Academy or Hogwarts, Wednesday at Hogwarts, which is really not the Addams Family, but they're trying to get people who watch the Addams Family or know the Addams Family as a brand or an IP, and it's just business. These people are just marketing and just... It's all about business in it. There's no artistry in it. There's no creativity in it. There's no loyalty or tradition or fandom or respect or legacy or anything in any of this. It's just producing IP, brand recognizable content for streaming services for consumption by the general audience. And they're quite happy to change a show that was special, that had a following because it was different and special, so everyone can watch it, but then no one really cares about it because it doesn't offend anyone. It's understandable for everyone, but it's not remarkable to anyone. And that's what we keep seeing happening. And I just sort of realised this is really an industry-wide thing that's happened like generationally, where we've just lost all the original creators and the people who were sort of taking care of these franchises. And now they're all just in the hands of the studios and businesses. And, they're just hiring people just to create IP, and that's it. And I just sort of realised, wow, TV is dead. the industry is dead. It's all about reality TV and streaming and content, and just purely to fill the hours, because there's so many channels and so many streaming services, and there's really nothing to look forward to. I just sort of realized the other day, wow, I can just finish off all my DVD collections, all the classic shows, all the shows I love, and just watch them, my own sort of DVD rerun channel, basically, because there's nothing else that's going to come. There's nothing to look forward to. I can just have my own syndicated DVD channel, basically, because there's just nothing to look forward to. And it's just really sad. Nothing that they're making for Star Trek or Addams Family or anything is going to resemble anything that I would expect or enjoy. It's just sad. The end.